and welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to viewers on onespotmedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
Up first this evening, more testimonials from children on skin bleaching. And the Child Protection and Family Services Agency is looking to get involved after our first installment, which highlighted the story of a 9-year-old boy who says his mother is bleaching his skin.
The Jamaica Teachers Association is also saying that skin bleaching in schools is more widespread than expected. Romarda Lyons has part 2 of Melanin Malice.
We've heard about his reaction to his mother's actions, and now he shares how his grandmother reacted when other people in his community noticed and raised concern.
Some little boys in high school, when I was playing ball with him asked me how my face looks so, and I said to him, him asked me if I bleach, and I said yes. And I said to myself to stop.
And the instance when it was brought to her attention.
My grandma said, eat too fast. I am from minding own business.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is responsible for the care, protection, and well-being of children. It is aware of the case regarding the 9-year-old boy and says the first step would be therapy for his mother. Additionally, the school says dialogue will be had with the parent and an internal guidance counselor is involved. In the meantime, a testimonial from another student, 13 years old. In this case, he wasn't being bleached by a parent, instead, influenced.
Me did see my father do it, so me just use some cream them off of the dress of a couple weeks. And like when me walk the bus stop, me tie one kerchief over my forehead to shield me from the sun.
When the school realized the change in his appearance, the boy was told to stay home, quote, until his color returned, end quote. This grade 8 student, a girl, was compelled to bleach for what she says was a better look.
Me just did want little color. Me never want be like white out. Me did just never want black. Me did want for, like look cool and nice.
In the meantime, even the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association has come face to face with the reality. President Dr. Mark Smith recalls finding out a student was bleaching his skin.
And I said, listen, why are you bleaching, boy? I said, that's not acceptable. You know the standards. And while I was having that conversation with him, I said, do you know, does your mother know rather that you bleach? And he said, my mother bleached too, sir. I said, what? I said, what about your father? Your father know you're bleaching? He said, yes, my father bleached too. I said, hold on, what about your brother? He said, he bleached too, sir. And your sister? He said, my goodness.
In addition to surface-level impacts, dermatologist Dr. Romaria Thomas says children are also at risk of infections.
So skin bleaching is definitely not just an outside thing. And again, if you start bleaching in kids, they have a longer exposure to this drug and to the chemical, bacterial, fungal, as well as acne. There is something called steroid-induced acne. So imagine a teenager who is naturally supposed to be facing the challenges of acne, plus having this component as well.
Even more cause for alarm, as Dr. Smith says it's a widespread issue.
We have many of these cases across the country. I don't think this is an isolated case. And it tells us that there's a lot more work we have to do as a people in terms of elevating our belief and conception in self. That is so important against the historic background. And this is highly steeped in the history and evolution.
But with this specific parent, bleaching the 9-year-old boy,
I do believe that that parent is terribly misguided and there is need for social intervention and support. We have many civic groups. I think sometimes the state needs to engage in a process of parenting, and that is why I call sometimes that there may be need for parenting classes to support parents who obviously are greatly misguided in how it is they approach, meeting those fundamental and basic needs of their children.
This 9-year-old story is just one, but it echoes a deeper crisis. It begs the question, how many more children are being taught to hate the skin they're in? Romarda Lyons, TVJ.